Aww. Demanded is such a strong word. Well, well, yeah, we both did. 10 or 32. Take your pick. Too bad I'm not a well, as I say, we're only level 6. It's like a cleric trying to roll low.
I'd say what Liam's most insecure about would probably be his past. He's ashamed of what he's done to get here, but he's proud that he was able to do it.
Veil doesn't really have many insecurities, but he would say if it was one thing, it would be not living up to the expectations of wizards of his level. He feels that he is overconfident in some things, but needs to make sure that his abilities reflect that. And if something went wrong, he would be very insecure about how it went down if he didn't perform as well as he should.
Well, I'm not 100% really sure. I suppose particularly right now would be his past failures coming back to haunt him. He doesn't really show too much emotion very often, but the last few days have kind of cracked his worldview. I would definitely say it's his past coming back to haunt him.
I don't rightly know the meaning of that word. But I suppose it would still be the fact that I lost to old Grovy Bear. Sexy as he is, I cannot abide being the loser. I must be the champion of everything. Somebody write that down.
I mean, like, it's attached to me, and it's not like I can control it, but, without it, I never would have met Vulcan, and I never would have learned Druidic arts, and I never would have been sent out and met these lovely people, so it's my tail, okay? Oh my god, so much.
Well, I made a report yesterday, but it seems that my warnings were not followed. Yeah, that is correct, sir. Well, since that time that white tabaxi was spotted, he has robbed an apothecary shop, assaulted the archivist of the Conclave, and then attempted to kill my friend by throwing her off the ship into the undertow of his ship as he left the port. Well, the throwing my friend off the ship, we can go talk to her. She is a little sheepish. I'd appreciate it if you do talk to her. You use a little bit more of a nicer demeanor. But then another witness saw this very same individual easily climb up the side of a building, and then him and a partner ran off into the distance in the direction of the apothecary, the same apothecary that gentleman was in that very day when he first met my friend, the dragonborn he tried to kill on his ship. They have seen him, yes. And then the potions, did they tell you what the potions that were stolen from that apothecary, sir? That is correct. They stole a spider climb potion, and then one of... Mm-hmm. 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 Well, they were linked, obviously, but I can guarantee you that that individual was involved because I know him personally. He is my brother. However, I thought he's... not the encounters, but I know that he was seen. He was spotted. He's been in the apothecary, so he knows the supplies are there. He knows the layout. He also knows Miss Eloise, whom was the only witness to him being in that apothecary, of whom he attempted to abduct. And when she would not cooperate very easily, he threw her off the ship, trying to drown her under the undertow of his ship. So he tried to take care of the one witness that had him linked definitely to the first instance. But the problem is, as far as I know, up until yesterday, a couple days ago, he is supposedly have been dead for the last 4 years. I saw him die. Not in this situation here, but it is my brother. There is no one else that's going to have the exact same scar in the exact same spot over his left eye. I gave him that scar. It's my brother. Pure white tabaxi are not... Pure white tabaxi, they are not common, sir. Most of us, we are multicolored. Myself and my brother, we are kind of anomalies. I get it. I understand what you're saying, sir. I did not physically see him enter the premise, nor did I physically see him assault the archivist. But I can assure you it was him. It is still information you need to look for that ship the next time it comes into port, or if it's seen in any other port. The name of the ship was the Green Leaf's Friend.
Dos Rios.
Yeah, isn't that what you said? Didn't you?
Change the name.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just saying,
Dos
are we
Rios.
actually going with that? You told me it was horse shit, so we should... Oh. Okay, we can go with Dos Rios then. Yeah, all right. It's the... yeah. Well, no, I know, but I was just saying, I thought we were just... Because you and I were talking before the stream, it just said it was just dubbed, so we can go with the original. So yeah, the name of the ship is Dos Rios, sir. It is... You need to be on the lookout for it.
Yeah, because you're saying because Spanish doesn't exist in Dungeons and Dragons, so you're just saying that. But we know that that means.
It's just, yeah, it's way too on the fucking nose. Instead of persuade.
Oh, that's fine. No, it makes perfect sense.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, it's
I was
way too.
confused when what you were saying earlier. I thought you were saying that no, we shouldn't use that, and I was like, no, that's great.
It's not going to literally mean that, yeah. Okay.
Sure. Mhm. Yeah, I dig it.
Oh, sorry, 21 for the persuasion. Skolin? Well, he might own the ship, but he's not the captain. Where's that? Oh, I'm sure the manifest could say a lot of things, and maybe they did do those things. But they were here for another reason. I have not been able to talk to the archivist yet to see if anything was stolen, but I can't imagine someone is going to climb the building, break the lock, go down to the 9th floor, assault him, and then leave. It's just a very odd sequence of events. Oh, I don't remember you saying that. Oh, what was missing? The Dreamer? Oh, that's interesting. Well, then I'll change it up. I was like, did they tell you if anything was taken, sir? Did I happen to tell you, or did they tell you the what we saw? The other gentleman that was with the Tabaxi? He was a half elf, sir. Elves don't really leave the kingdom very often, do they? It's been, what, 250 years since the last time they were out before now? Yeah. Yeah, but, I mean, it's just... I learned a long time ago, so coincidences are bullshit. it's I understand your reticence. I do. I don't know if I would trust me if I were in your position. I'm just saying you need to look out for that ship. Still got that inspiration if this goes wrong. Oh, that's good enough. That's 19. I understand. Mm. Like I said, just keep an eye out for it, because it's not a coincidence that he shows up with a half elf right when the elves leave their kingdom. He has supposedly been dead for 4 years. Where has he been hiding? It, just something is not right, sir. And I fear danger not only to that summit, but something else is going on. Yeah, I know. I talked to one of the gentlemen leaving. I was actually excited. I wish I could have gone, but it's for more of the higher ups. So just, as I said, just keep an eye out. It in the end, it'll do you. It won't hurt to keep an eye out, and in the end, I think it could do some good. I will warn you, they do have magical cloaks, just like kind of like mine, that they can hide very easily. So, I mean, it might be difficult to see them, but if you see anything, just kind of hop on it at once. If it's nothing, it's nothing, but they are very good at sneaking. That, at this time, so no, I appreciate you taking my information. It's been many, many, many years, sir. I mean, most tabaxi are from the Federation. It's kind of where we've been huddled. No, not at this time, sir.
Ooh. He's rolling good.
Yeah, no. You really got to learn to take things from the Morgotten Federation with a grain of salt. They are not led by the most terrific of people. What do you mean what do you mean recalling, sir? I mean calling out about it? What do you mean Huh. Yeah, that would be kind of interesting, sir. I wonder, maybe they found their quarry? Hmm. Huh. Nope, just my little white-scaled dragonborn friend. Oh, and a very drunk human, but he doesn't mean much. I will try to do that, sir. Like I said, she's a little skittish, so I will do my best to convince her. Actually, you know what? You might have already gotten a statement from her when you went to talk to Miss Millie. She was her assistant. Okay. Okay. I will impress upon her. I know we are supposed to depart sometime tomorrow, but I will try and talk her into it, sir. Well, I try to do that anyway. I mean, I'm not very big. I get my ass kicked, sir. Yeah, I will leave. uh, well, when do I get back to them?
I was still getting tattooed, right?
I'm good.
I was still at the to the end. Okay, yeah, that's where I am. Okay.
We could have an issue. You and me. I'm looking right at Apollyon. So did they
What do you
explain?
mean, Mr. Boy?
Did they tell you what happened today with Miss Eloise?
Literally
no,
just
I have
walked
no
in before
idea.
you did. Is
Well, I didn't
everything
know if
okay?
you'd
Did they
heard.
give you a hard time?
Well, he seemed a little more boisterous before I walked into the office, and then he was somewhat cordial with me. However, he did request if I happened to be traveling with a red-skinned minotaur. And then he said that the Margarden Federation had recalled a bounty on a red-skinned minotaur and a black-furred tabaxi traveling together.
What does
So-
that mean?
That would be silly. Why would that be about you two?
Well, Miss Eloise, that's a longer story. But he said that they had called off the bounty. Well, rescinded. Yeah, I mean Well, it's the same. I mean,
English isn't my first language. But that's the same thing as canceled, right?
Yeah. They canceled our. Apparently, one, we had a bounty, and two, for some reason, they sent out a missive canceling it.
Good for us. We're no longer fugitives.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily good for us.
Apollyon like pats him on the back like a little too hard. Like, oh, good job, old buddy. We escaped those slavers, made it to a new life of adventure and gold and slaying dragons. Check out my sweet ink. He'd turn around and show him my back.
I'm gonna slap him real hard on the tattoo. That's great, buddy. That's great.
Oh,
But why did they rescind? I mean, trust me, I'm happy that people won't be actively looking to make money on my skin anymore. But why? They do not forgive easily in the Morgotten Federation. If you knew what I know about them, this could be an issue. Just saying. We might have
what
to
do you
look up.
suggest we do now?
When I had said, I was not traveling with a Redskin Minotaur, I think they believed me. I believe so. But that's not the issue. They can't arrest us for something that's been rescinded. Plus, he also said that they don't collect on bounties typically from the Federation because the Federation is, one, it's not a government. It's just a collection of little city-states out there. And also, they are run by criminals. So they weren't going to probably collect on it anyway, but they're not the ones I'm worried about collecting on a bounty. Somebody like myself would collect on that bounty.
Just about
Why
three
would they rescind
reasons. 3 reasons I can think of why someone would rescind that. 1, they completed the mission, but you two are still here, so that ain't it. 2, bunch of money just moved hands, but it didn't come from you, so unless you got some rich cousins, I don't think that's it. Or 3, they got some new information that you don't know about that changed their minds about what they accuse you of.
Oh no, we did exactly what they accused me of. That's not the issue. I'm wondering if they took the bounty off so we could be hunted without proper authorities knowing it.
Sounds like money to me. Money changing hands.
It's
I know you don't have a lot of friends. Do you
Chuck,
have any enemies in particular?
Enemies. There's probably a few.
Anyone
Friends
who would be more personal?
Well, one of them just left the port. Maybe it's my...
I just said I agree with Chuck.
Well, let's just... there's one individual, but I don't know if he would have paid off my bounty. He might have. But I'm sure.
Is he in a position of power?
Sort of, yeah. He's within the links of the chain of the I wouldn't say leadership, but he's somebody of note in one of the largest cities in the Federation.
Power in some circles is the same thing as money.
I guess we'll find out. I just don't like the people that are... I'd almost be better off if it was the authorities looking for us and not... Because the type of bounties that I went after, the authorities never heard about. So there is a different set of bounties. One for the proper authorities, and then the one that's under the table. We just gotta look over our shoulders for a little while. Or at least Apollyon and I do.
Nothing new on this
Don't
end,
we
boss.
always?
So just could you do me a favor and not shout "I'm the Golden Boy" everywhere we go, please? Little favor.
All right, Mr. Blood. Just for you, I'll keep it on the down low.
Well, you're already fighting tonight, but I guess it's a good thing we're leaving tomorrow.
Maybe we'll get a good one once we leave the gates.
Do we know where we're going tomorrow?
The watch captain doesn't. He doesn't know. They don't have anything to do with Conclave.
No, but do we know?
Yeah.
Well, we got a few items that we're picking up.
And then
the mission doesn't leave till the day after tomorrow.
And we still have to talk to him, confirm which one we're going on.
So we got another night in town. If there's anything you didn't get to do, anyone you didn't get to see.
I mean, I got a couple of things I need to take care of, but I don't know about you all. Oh, Miss Eloise, the captain he said, since you were a witness to seeing two, both at the docks and at Millie's, he would like to speak to you.
Well, I mean, at Millie's, I just saw what happened after when I came to help her clean up.
But you can also place him there. That's important.
Well, I can place him there the day before.
And then magically that shop is robbed the very same night. I pushed it along that I believe he is involved. But he also did throw you off the ship, and you could have very easily been sucked under and very seriously injured. So he did assault you.
Well, I mean,
What kind of magic?
I can breathe underwater.
That's not
sometimes.
I know, but that's not that. Yeah, I mean, still, he assaulted you. I mean, he just wants to at least get Yoan from to talk to you to corroborate what I said, that you were assaulted on the ship.
Well, okay, if you think it's a good idea for me to go and tell him the story, then I'll go and tell him.
He'd said he wanted
to come with me.
I will go. He said he wanted to talk to you. Now, you don't have to go. And we could just do it when we come back. It's up to you.
I mean, from what I've seen, they're really not that useful. So...
I mean, they're at least going to start looking out for that ship. And they're going to keep an eye out for him. From what I told them.
If they got what they came for, what are the chances that they're going to come back anytime soon?
I don't know. My brother was very smart. And who knows with his elf ones. So I don't know.
I don't know. He seemed pretty adamant that he didn't have a brother.
Yeah, I know, but he also was a good liar. He and I were both very skilled at that.
By the way, Miss Eloise, how is the water? You seem to have had a pretty good swim there.
Oh, it was fine. It's a lot cleaner than other water than I've been in, so that's nice.
That's an upstanding port. They want to try and keep it clean.
It was not a lot, though. That was concerning. It was pretty empty.
Could be they're further out.
I guess. Anyways.
Anyway, I think the less time we spend here, for now, the better. Personally.
Okay.
So, I mean, let's get your fight over. Let's get the stuff picked up from Mitchell.
Who's fight?
Yeah, they want to go fight again.
Oh.
Apollyon and Veil.
And then I think we
gotta
still
remain the champion.
What time is it right now? About. Right. I guess the job leaves tomorrow, so do we need to go tell them?
7:47.
Mm-hmm. Okay, in the morning, okay.
Just before or after? Are we going to hit Mitchell's before or after?
I suppose we hit Mitchell's on the way.
On the way to the Conclave or on the way out?
Yeah, on the way. Well, I guess it depends on we're leaving by ship either way. If we go for the route or if we go to Tomas, so I guess we got to come back to the port regardless.
No. Oh, are we going to be joining Tomas then? Is that the choice?
I think that was the consensus.
I was hoping to see that bugger again.
I mean, personally, I want to get away from the port.
Are we
I feel
departing
better
by
when
ship?
I'm surrounded by nature too.
We're going up by I think we're going down the river to get closer, and then
Good to
traveling
know.
inland.
I'll prepare the right spells for water.
I guess, how late would shops be open? Okay. Alright. Thanks. I think we need to get some more supplies. Or do we have enough supplies for my disguise kit? I think I got more for Veil's children. Okay. Because now
I
Blood's
stocked up on all my stuff.
starting to think that he's going to have to start putting some colors in his fur. So, that's why I'm asking. We can check in the morning, then we'll go to Conclave, go to Mitchell's, then leave. So,
Fight, 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 fight.
I think I'm behind again. Yeah, I'm gonna attune to my new staff that we got.
As you wish.
I think it's better off that Apollyon and I are not seen in the same room. So I will, but I'm going to give 150 gold to Liam and say 75 on each of them.
Sounds good to me.
And I'm going to
Are you
hang
staying
out.
behind? You're gonna
Yeah,
hang out with me?
I'm going to stay behind.
I'm back.
I was thinking about going for a walk outside to or if there's a park nearby, anywhere where there are trees, really.
He'll go with you. And
Okay.
would those mail carrier people that I talked to you about, Matt, would they be, or would I have to check that in the morning? Okay. I'll find that then. While she and I are walking, we'll find one. Okay. Yeah, I'm sending out 2 different letters. One's going to go to his father, and then one is going to someone who he's going to refer to as Mr. Corin Black. It's not his real name, but the recipient of the letter will understand. One letter is going to be going to the village of Nepeta in the Jutla Wastes. That is going to Blazing Sunset, is his father's name. And then the other letter is going to Rowena in the Malgarden Federation. To a dragon.
Not many could.
And it seems like it took them from above. So they didn't even know until he was on top, or she was on top of him. Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna not be able to walk behind Apollyon for a while.
I appreciate that.
Could anyone do that?
I'm not there, but I want to say something.
How could any creature just so senseless?
You've lived a very bliss-filled life.
I wouldn't go that far, but shelter,
Well,
definitely.
When you get in, if we go to the Federation, trust me, you are going to see it's not a nice place to live. That is why they are looking for us. Apollyon was essentially a slave. And I'm the one that broke him out. So they are looking for me just as much as they're looking for him, because they want to put him back in the ring fighting for them, making them money. Or they want to kill him, one way or the other. This world is not a very good place.
Is that all the living are good for? Making up new ways to kill each other?
Seems that way. I mean, I haven't known peace in quite a long time until I met you guys. I've seen quite a bit, and I've done more than my fair share. So, this world is not for the faint of heart. I mean, you can probably see just on he's just back to his mopey, just fucked up self that he has been the last few days. I still cannot believe that he is alive.
You know how you guys kept warning me that the druids weren't okay?
Yeah, unfortunately, Mr. Liam doesn't have too much tact in that situation.
I should have listened. I should have listened.
I know.
And I'm gonna grab hold of your hand and I want you to listen to me right now. I don't know if your brother's in there anymore. I think whether it was because he died and the way they brought him back, or maybe it's just they're hiding his memories from him, or maybe it's his mind trying to protect him. But I don't think he has those memories anymore. Just like I wish I didn't have them of the Grove.
Well, the way I've always seen horrible memories is they are not always a bad thing. They remind you to remember what is important. You can't forget everything bad that's ever happened to you, because it'll give you a false view of the world. I will never forget the day I saw him die. And I'm afraid that before this is over, I will see it again. And I have a feeling that I am going to be the one to kill him. And I do not know why. It just seems like that's the way things are going. But
is that better than anyone else killing him?
Well, we always used to joke when we were younger, if anybody was going to kill us, it was going to be each other. But I think that was more bravado as children. If he has been tortured to be brought back or whatever they've done to him, I don't know if I want him remembering.
You ever seen Farscape?
Because the last thing he saw was me being dragged away, not coming back for him.
That's a hint. About 2 rivers.
So, perhaps it's better.
Very definition, blood, it meant that you didn't want to leave him. If you were being dragged away.
I still did.
Not by your choice, though.
Could have fooled me.
Does it ever?
Well, you want to start heading back? Get you something to eat.
I like seeing the moon.
So we can go take a little walk down by the dock. I think I have to be a little more careful, but I'll just put my hood
I
up.
really want to go back to the top.
Well, there's other dock, but you get to see the moon off the water.
And as you both look up, you do see that it is a big, beautiful full moon. The clouds barely out there, just a little picturesque view in the night sky.
I'd tell you we could climb a tree. But, oh, Jesus! Who's fucking doing that? Oh, you bastards! I hate you all. I was about to tell. I was like, you go take a look up in a tree, but I'm not sure your tail's gonna cooperate.
Bet on it.
Hell,
What if we like tied it to my waist?
I don't know if that's gonna work.
Well,
Your
it
tail
wouldn't
isn't-
flop around.
I mean, it's not as thin as mine. I don't think does yours bend that way? Meanwhile,
Not
my
really.
tail's come up and it's wrapped like kind of around my neck, like it's a scarf. I was like, I can do mine.
I can look. Here's the tip of it, but that's as much as it bends, really.
Oh god, I just gotta like as a child chasing it like a dog trying to chase its tail, trying to finally get it.
Wait, hang on. I've almost got it. I've almost got it.
Maybe we just need to train you to work with your tail. It doesn't have a mind of its own, I promise you.
I don't.
Well, you're
Hey,
into
Anna.
all this
Nice to see
mystical.
they're having
Nature
a
stuff?
bit of a heart-to-heart
They never taught
out
you
in
to,
the middle
like-
of the forest.
I mean, I'm sure Liam could teach you to meditate and kind of focus.
Oh, that I know how to do.
Well, communicate with your tail then, I guess. I don't know. Mine's just, it's natural. It does.
It's stubborn, and it's not my friend.
It's a potty. I don't know if he has to be a friend. We're talking about your tail like it's got a mind of its own.
Because it does. Have you seen the thing in action?
And almost on cue, her tail just kind of
Trip.
whips out and smacks a random tree branch.
Maybe the thing does have a mind of its own. Well, then you need to get on the same page as him. Give it a name, maybe. Maybe he'll work with you.
Maybe. Oh my god, wait, didn't we name my tail already?
Didn't you? I think you did.
I think we
Yeah,
did.
you know what? I thought you did give it a name.
We gave him a name and said he'd have a mustache.
And a French accent, yeah.
Yeah.
A mustache. Shit, what was his name?
Now we come up with something, but not like Sebastian, maybe, or something, you know?
Maybe.
Jean-Luc.
Put a cigarette in its mouth.
Well, I think this is a good spot to take our break. We're not quite at the halfway point, but close enough. So we will go ahead and take our 10-minute break, and we will be right back with the grand tournament that you guys, or at least the grand fight that you guys did.
Woo, woo, fight, do the things.
Yeah.
We will be back in about 10 minutes. Stay tuned, everybody. We won't be too long. Okay, thanks everybody. We are back with Random Rhapsodies, the Faab 5 campaign, If you enjoy our streams, please feel free to follow us here on Twitch and go down, follow the links at the bottom. We're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're in podcast as well. So feel free to support us as much as you can and subscribe to whatever you can. Just help us out. But we like what we're doing here. We hope you like it too. So hopefully you're able to follow us and all that. Anyway, we're going to go ahead.
Help an escaped slave Minotaur out, buddy.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and jump right back on in with Apollyon, Liam, Veil. You guys had kind of waited around preparing yourselves for the evening's battles. If you guys don't want to do anything else, I'm sure at some point Blood and Eloise would have returned, but I think you guys said you didn't want to join them. You're going to stay.
I'll stay with her.
Yeah. So the three of you do make it over to the Smiling Donkey, and when you arrive, you go and find that one. I believe he was a halfling who runs the fights, and he tells you it's about time you arrived. We have everything prepared for the both of your matches. We actually paid a wizard that we know to set up a safe space for you and your magic throwing battle. So go ahead and follow me. And he leads you down the stairs out into what you have recently been to, that smaller fighting pit. However, in the center of the pit, you see a big, bright, glowing door, and quite a few people are filing into this already. You see a decent-sized crowd, and as all of you guys step through, you find a pretty interesting little place. It's a big, wide-open grass field. Within the direct center, you see a huge 30 by 30 square pit filled with sand, with a line of stone going all around it. At 4 points, you can see 4 individual magic users standing next to a little stone on the ground, and they seem to be preparing themselves for casting a spell. And you can all see quite a few people sitting in bleachers, milling about, talking to each other. At the far southern corner, Liam, you can actually see a bar's been set up with a pair of humans working behind it, pouring drinks for all the various people who are watching. Directly to the far east of this area, you can see a huge, dais has been erected, made out of stone, and a pair standing on top of it, one of whom is casting a spell, and the other one's kind of yelling out, "Testing, testing. Okay, can everyone hear me? As soon as our contestants arrive, we will begin tonight's matches." Go ahead, three of you. Place yourselves anywhere you want around here. Just so I know where your tokens are.
Big arena.
It is indeed a big arena. As I said, it's a 30 by 30 square, specifically set up for this magical duel. You and as you kind of say that out loud, the halfling looks up to you and says, "Yeah, well, you need to have lots of space for throwing spells. We also have a barrier that's going to be erected after you guys enter it into the ring. This will allow you to throw spells without worry, as the walls of force will keep the spells contained."
I just want to clarify real quick. This is 150 by 150, right? Those are each 5?
Yep. So 150 by
Excellent.
150 total. 30 by 30 squares, sorry. Yep, 150 by 150 total. So I was reading 30 by 30, and that's the squares that it was.
Perfect, thank you.
Anyway, we have it set so you, big boy, goes on first, and he kind of pats Apollyon's thigh as he says this.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready to rumble, buddy.
We have two challengers who were interested in fighting you. You can fight one or both.
Apollyon will accept one of these challengers tonight. And in the ring, Apollyon will become the champion yet again.
Well, in that case, we're going to be sending you up against Urigex. He's one of our best fighters here.
Gesundheit.
Do well.
I'm going to throw
Gesundheit.
200
Now,
gold
what's the
down
name
on
of my
Apollyon.
opponent?
Okay, I heard you, Veil, say you wanted to put 200 gold on Apollyon. What were you saying, Apollyon?
I said Gesundheit. Now, what's the name of my opponent?
And the halfling just kind of chuckles a little bit. You heard me right. Urigex.
Sounds like something nasty.
I'll put 200 down. 200
You're putting 200 down on whom?
on Apollyon to win.
Does that include my 75, or is that?
That
You
includes
do
your
have-
75, yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so okay.
Yeah, they put
I
your 75.
put them on my stuff
Yeah.
separate, so I'm keeping track.
Okay, I didn't know if you were doing 200 and then 75. I just want to make sure.
No, I'm doing 200, so I'm doing 125. You're doing 75.
Sweet, thank you, sir.
Okay, so far I have that Blood has put 75 on both Apollyon and Veil. Veil put 200 on Apollyon, and Liam put 200 on Apollyon so far. Is there any
Can I
other
still bet
bets?
on myself?
You cannot place a bet on yourself.
Okay.
Not for this. However, winners of the two matches is going to get a percentage of the pot that was
Oh,
taken
nice.
from this.
What percentage?
15% standard.
Okay, all right.
So, I thought I would be able to bet on myself as well, so I'll just do 300 on Apollyon to win then.
All right, well, I'll bet 300 on Veil to win.
Okay.
You got this, buddy. All that training and copying down new spells is going to pay off for you.
All that nerd stuff.
You boys
That's right.
sure are confident. I like that. Put your
I'm
money
headed
where
to
your
the
mouth
bar.
is.
Well, we've gone through a bunch of tough situations together, so I think we can handle this.
Indeed.
Check out my back. Did you know Apollyon is a dragon slayer?
And Vale kind of gasps and takes a step back, like, wasn't expecting that.
So it seems that people are beginning to take their seats and get themselves situated. Is there anything anyone wants to do before the matches begin?
Just a large beer, biggest they have.
Oh, and you can get a large beard. That's for sure for your 4 silver.
Give them 5.
Okay. That was drier than I thought it was going to be. Okay. So once your bets are placed, the halfling goes walking over to the stage, kind of sits down behind it. You can see the MC of the event stepping up onto the dais and calls out, "Ladies and gentlemen, your attentions, please. Tonight we have two challengers going up against some of our greatest fighters here in Valena. Give it up for Apollyon the Golden Boi and Necthros Veil. And cheers just begin echoing out as the two of you come around to your side of the battle circle.
The champ is here!
As the two of you are standing there, you can see at the far side a half-orc and a dragonborn. Both come stepping up to the opposite side. They're on the map opposite you. The dragonborn seems to be clad in robes and carries for himself a wand in one hand. He has bright golden scales across his body. And much like your dragonborn friend Eloise, this one has a tail.
What?
The half-orc is a big, brawny individual. Let's see here.
He said the Dragonborn has a tail.
Yeah, the dragonborn has a tail. I'm sorry.
You're not there.
I'm sorry. That's not a half-orc. I was thinking of the other guy. This guy is a Goliath. A big, tall, hulking, gray-skinned individual. Completely bald head, no facial hair whatsoever. Just a big, massive man. He's wielding a great axe in one hand that's just kind of propped up on his shoulder, and he's just grinning down at you, Apollyon.
Alright. Well, this will be a good match. I think I'll call you the Big Show.
And as he calls out from the other side, you hear, "Well, looks like I'm going to be having some prime beef tonight."
I quietly say to Apollyon, I say, "You got this, buddy." And I go to reach my hand out, kind of to give him a pat on the back, but I slide it away real quick and touch myself on the chest.
Okay.
Okay.
The MC's calling out, "In this corner we have Urigex, the Goliath hailing from the kingdom of Hyrulia. In the opposite corner, we have Apollyon the Golden Boi from the Margarden Federation. Champions, step forward." And you see the Goliath stomp into the center of the ring, into the sand, and walks almost to the dead center of the ring. As he's doing so, he's holding his great axe up high, swinging it around a little bit, kind of, playing to the crowd.
Yep, I'll do the same thing. I'll walk around the edge of the arena with my championship belt held high, and go up into each corner and hold it up. Everybody will scream. Go over to the other corner. I'll raise my eyebrow and do some little finger guns at some people. I'll just repeat that all the way around, and then I'll finally stroll up to the middle here.
Okay. You stride up to him and stand a few feet away from him, and he's glaring down at you. You're glaring at him, and finally the MC calls out, "Begin!" Roll for initiative. And I need some good music here.
$19's decent.
Oh yeah. It's
23 is
next level
better.
that I get advantage on initiative.
Oh, that is too loud. I need to turn it down a bit. Okay, what was that, Apollyon?
Oh, I said at level 7 I get advantage on initiative, but not yet.
Okay. So yeah, that is a 19. So it looks like he's going first.
All right.
Okay, what am I going to have him do first? Well, he kind of... The two of you are standing eye to eye. He's maybe a little bit bigger. How tall are you, Apollyon?
Where does it say that?
So yeah, you are actually just barely shorter than him. He's 7'1". So the two of you are standing almost eye level. Your horn's probably just a little bit above him, and you're just glaring at each other, and he's just glaring back at you for a moment. Let's see. He is just going to, since you're standing there and he's standing there, all he's going to do is he's going to shove you back. He's just kind of testing you out at this point, just to see what you do. So he grasps his great axe with two hands and just shoves you. So what I'm going to need you to do is make an athletics check for me. Okay, 20. He slams his great axe into your chest, and you hold back. You stand there with all your might, and you just take the blow across your chest like a champ. It bounces off of your biceps, and he just kind of grins and... Good. I was hoping you weren't going to be a pushover. And then you just see him roar, this loud Goliath roar. And he goes into a rage. And that's it for his turn. Okay, I like it. I'm switching music. I don't like this music. Okay, so you reach out, and I believe we've said before that the way you cast your spells are with your mouth. So you lean forward, puckering up, and try to kiss Urigex, the Goliath. You rolled a 16. Don't forget to call your rolls. However, you lean forward, puckering up, trying to kiss him. Urigex is just too quick. He steps back and twirls to one side, just kind of staying out of the reach of your mouth. So a 16 did not hit. Okay, that's it for your turn, Urigex. Now, I'm going to propose one thing, Apollyon. Since we're both using barbarians and we're both raging, my suggestion is that we just count all damage as full damage instead of having it, just so the battle doesn't take a long time. It's up to you, however. If you want to slug it out and do half damage for both, that's fine too. That is true. Yep, that is true. At the beginning of his next turn, he would have to. Let's see. So once again, it being his turn, he does indeed, as you say, have to re-rage since he did not take damage. As he does this rage, Apollyon, you can see these faint glimmers, outline shapes kind of form around him as he rages. These are his ancestral protectors, which is a really interesting ability of his. I'm going to pop up for y'all. What this does is, while he's raging, the first creature he hits with an attack, while you're raging, the first creature you hit with an attack on your turn becomes the target of the warriors, which hinders its actions. Until the start of your next turn, the target has disadvantage on any attack roll that isn't against you, and while the target hits a creature other than you. So it doesn't affect too much, but the interesting thing about it is, as you're fighting, you see these ancestral protectors begin forming up around him and just kind of swirling around him as he's fighting. I think it's cool anyway. Anyway, so he is going to make an attack at you with his great axe. He has 2 attacks. The first is a 23. So 19 points of damage, 17 slashing, and 2 rage against you. You say, "Oh no, you didn't!" And as you do, a rainbow of flames surrounds him. He needs to make a dexterity saving throw. I like it. And that's a critical failure. So go ahead and roll your damage. I will remind you that you can just instead of hitting the bubble to show it up, if you just clicked the name of the spell, it would roll the damage automatically for you. Just so you know. Yep. No worries. 13 points of damage to him. Great hit. So he is now going to take his second swing with his great axe. And that's a 12, so I assume that misses. Yes, sir. Okay. Oh, I forgot to give him initiative. Anyway, it's okay. Go ahead. It is your turn, Apollyon. Okay, first attack, reckless. .22 is definitely going to hit. Nice. 15 damage to him. And you slash at him with that speedy scimitar, cutting a deep cut along the chest of this Goliath. Okay. 14 unfortunately does not hit. You swing and he just parries it with the butt end of his great axe. Okay. 24 does hit. So 13 more points of damage as a second cut goes along this Goliath's chest. You can now see blood beginning to just freely flow down the chest of this guy. He's looking moderately hurt. Get some indeed. Okay, it is his turn. He is going to be attacking you with his great axe again. Oh, he has advantage because, also, yeah, he does have advantage. So that's a critical. Whew. So that is 20 points of damage to you. He just cleaves away, yelling loudly. Rah! Just smashes into you with that great axe, cutting you from shoulder down your chest. He just laughs, and as he pulls out his great axe from your body, he swings a second time. And that's a 19 to hit. Miss? Nice. Okay. That's it for his turn. You're up next. I think so, yep. Well, hold on. Let me look at the text of the scimitar real quick. Then there you go. You can just make the attack as a bonus action. You don't have to do an action. Yes, you can. Thirteen's gonna miss. Yep, he easily parries that away with his great axe. You're gonna disengage as your action. Okay. That it for your turn? That's 30 feet, it looks like. Yeah, you can use your action to disengage. Okay, is that it for your turn? Unfortunately for you, he has 40 feet of movement. And he comes running towards you, charging, bellowing loudly in his rage. No, he doesn't. He attacked. He did damage last turn. Yeah. He comes running up towards you, Apollyon, and he's swinging with his great axe. You didn't do Did you do Reckless last turn? No, you didn't. That was your bonus action. Okay. 15 misses. And a 24, which I assume hits. So what you're using your lucky ability? Okay, let's see. So he just has to roll again, is it? Still at 21. So 14 points of damage total to you as he just cleaves down into you. First swing he missed. Second one he slammed into you. Shit. Hey Anna, thanks for letting me know that. I did fix it. You should be able to get rid of them now. Okay, 3 attacks on him. 24 does hit. 10 points of damage. 14 total. $20 does hit. $15 points of damage, and your 2 slices with your scimitar cuts him once, twice, and blood is just flowing over his chest. He's looking pretty hurt, but he is still up. Third swing with your scimitar, and he just barely manages to duck back out of the way of it. Okay. $29 definitely hits. $12 more points of damage. He is looking really rough as this third attack seems to be start to miss, but that tip just manages to cleave right along his clavicle, and he clutches it with one hand. He's just barely managing to stay up. He just grins at you. Not yet. And he's making his attacks. The first one, he swings wildly, and you just jump back out of the way. You can tell he's pretty hurt. 22 is his second attack. Okay, 16 more points of damage against you. Well, that would make it a 24 total. With that last overhead swing, he cleaves down into Apollyon, and the great axe goes deep into your chest, and you just drop to your knees. You just cough out. Do you have any last words you say before unconsciousness overtakes you, Apollyon? Jabroni indeed. And with that, Apollyon falls to the ground, unconscious, as you see the Minotaur's blood begin to soak into the sand. 2 healers come running out from the side of the area and begin to cast healing spells on both fighters. You're both Apollyon. You come to consciousness at the feeling of a healing word spell, or not healing word, cure wound spell cast on you. I'll go ahead and roll that for you. Seven points of healing to you, Apollyon. Can you guys hear her now? Hear them now? Easy enough to do. So just so you know, Apollyon, he had 6 hit points left.
Oh.
That. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Can someone do me a favor? Give me a mic check real quick. Apparently, they just the stream just told me that they're having a hard time hearing what you're saying.
Man, these gladiator matches haven't really been so great on me.
Well,
Yes,
that depends
the
on which
second one.
match you're talking about. I mean, the last one you did led you to believe that you anticipated a much harder opponent back then. Had you done the same thing here with your like potion sipping and stuff? I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah, or if I just would attack 3
Thanks,
more
everybody,
times
for the
that turn
help.
instead of
Sorry
trying to
about
get
that.
away. But he dealt me like,
That screen just
what
did
was
not
it,
help
25 damage in one turn or something?
me. Yeah, 20
I
damage.
was,
Yeah.
I was scared. I was like, all right, back up.
But hey, you know what? It was a great battle. You almost had him. That was pretty damn close. Anyway, the healers do help the 2 fighters out of the ring, and you're able to head over to the bar to meet up with Liam, who has a beer ready for you.
There you go, pal.
But with that, and all the crowds are cheering and yelling, and it was the most exciting match they'd seen in a very long time. You 2 competitors gave them an amazing show, and even the halfling kind of walks over to you and clasps you on the back, Apollyon, and says, "That's probably one of the closest matches I've seen here in a while."
Whoa, not on the tattoo, friend. That thing's fresh.
Oh, it definitely was. And the healers have cast several more spells on you, Apollyon, to at least get you to the point where you're not about to pass out. So let's see here. Just for the sake of brevity, we're going to say you've been healed 28 hit points.
That's fine.
You hear the MC calling out, "Well, that was a match to remember, everybody. Get ready for our second fight of the evening. where we are going to be competing two magic users against one another in a battle of wits and spellcasting. In this corner, we have our magical champion, Cascow. And you see the Dragonborn walking out into the center of the arena, arm waving out. He kind of gives everyone a little bit of a bow, and as he does, his tail kind of flickers up and out and around. And before coming down into the sand once more. And in this corner, we have Necthros Veil of the Underdark.
Veil just quietly and slowly walks into the arena. He doesn't really pay attention to the outside crowd. He's kind of just fixed on the Dragonborn. Doesn't really break eye contact.
And there you see the Dragonborn. A little bit of a serpent-like tongue slips out of his lips and around his mouth. He seems to just look down on you with a gleam in his eye. Anna, Apollyon's last words were jabroni, which is his signature phrase. So, with that, the MC calls out and says, "Challengers, prepare yourself for battle!" And once he says that, you just hear the crowd erupt with joyous cheers and applause. So, go ahead and roll for initiative.
I forgot to click on my character.
So did I. So you rolled a 9 and he rolled a 13. That's kind of funny. But he does have the first in initiative. So he kind of steps out into the sand and he circles you a little bit, moving let's see. 30 feet in this direction right here. Let's see here. You see him holding his hands up and begins moving them around a little bit. And you can see a little bit of his lips moving. What he is doing is first off, you see him, as a bonus action, casting haste on himself with a quicken spell. So he is using one spell point, one sorcery point, to cast haste on himself as a bonus action.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, his AC is now up. Has advantage on the dexterity saving throws, and he can do, let's see. And he gains an additional action on each turn. That action can attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object. Okay. So that is his first spell. And then now, as an action, he looks at you, Veil, and he says to you, let's see. You hear his voice. You first see his lips moving, Veil, and then you hear these words call out to you, and he says, "Drow, get on your knees and bow before me. And I need you to make a, what is, oh, wait a minute, no, sorry, wrong spell. I'm not doing that because that's a concentration spell. No, sorry. He would not do that because he does have that up. I forget. My bad. Instead, what he's going to do is he is casting a Chaos Bolt at you. And that is a 12, which I assume misses.
Yeah.
So he just kind of curls his hand up and mutters to himself and throws this bolt of energy towards you that you just easily jump out of the way of.
So is Chaos Bolt, is it a spell or like a cantrip?
It is a first level spell.
Okay. Reason why I say that is I don't believe you can cast haste and then another spell because it specifies with attack.
Sure, I could have sworn with haste. Well, because what I'm doing is I'm using it as a I cast it as a bonus action.
Yep. So when you attack, it's clearly states one weapon attack only. And you also could dash, disengage, hide, or use an object as an action.
Well, that's the additional to action. Haste says you until the spell ends, yada yada yada, and it gains an additional action on each of its turn. That action can only be used to take the attack weapon, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object. Now, what he did was he used his meta magic ability to quicken the spell, which means that the haste spell, which is normally an action, becomes a bonus action. Therefore, he still has one action to do. He could do 2 attacks with it because of the haste, but he's just choosing to do one action.
I see. I've never played a sorcerer, so okay, I get it now. The quicken made it become a bonus action.
Yes, correct.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about sorcerers. They don't get nearly as many spells, but they can do more things with them because of their sorcerer points.
Perfect. All right.
But yes, he did miss you, and now it is your turn.
And if you're a sorcerer and a warlock, you can make the coffee lock.
Yeah, you can. And it's ridiculous.
All right. So, Veil sees all this happening, and he never really broke eye contact with him. He turns his head a little bit to the side and looks down at his ring. And with the slightest jerk, lightning fast, he produces this flash, a low roar, and an explosion. Fireball at 5th level. He does have a bonus to dex save, right? Advantage to dex save?
He does have an advantage to dex save. However, as a reaction, he is casting Counterspell.
Excellent. As I will cast Counterspell to his Counterspell.
Can you do a reaction on your turn?
I've been researching this for 2 weeks. Yes, you can.
Yes, it's just once per turn, period.
Just once per turn, period. Okay, I like it. So he throws Counterspell up. You Counterspell back up with your offhand, just throwing it out there, blocking his Counterspell. So you both have used another one. And so, yeah, he has to make
a real wizard goal.
He has to make his dexterity save.
And the crowd goes crazy.
And that's a 10, so that is a failure from the Dragonborn. However,
He does have advantage, right? Isn't that what you said?
well, yeah, that's true. He does have it. He does have advantage. You're right, but he still fails. But what I was getting ready to say, he is also a gold-scaled Dragonborn. So he
Half
does
damage.
have the damage resistance to fire damage, so he will be taking half damage anyway. So that's 37 points of damage as this fireball just explodes into the ground around him, searing this dragonborn with fire that's so hot that the top layer of sand just crystallizes into glass in one instant moment. Whoosh! Let's see, 37 divided by 2. So 18 points of damage to him.
All right, and I'm going to walk up. Hold on one second. I'm trying to look at my movement. It's being slow.
Was that the one that you cast from your ring that you had?
Yeah, yep.
Nice.
He walks up 30 feet. Item interaction, he pulls out his portable hole. And as his bonus action, he commands 6 zombies to grapple the Dragonborn.
Oh, God.
Now, point of order here. Do you have to affix the hole to anything for things to walk out of it?
No, I'm just holding it up like a sheet.
Okay, you're holding it up like a sheet. This is a pretty big thing. But I would say, yeah, that's probably possible. So you pull this up and pull it out, and 6 zombies step forward into the field around you.
Do you want me to put those on the board?
Yes, I would, please.
Oh,
Because
man.
you have 6 zombies right now.
Yep.
That I've given you just for this.
That was going to be my next question. Are you prepared for him to do
This is
this
so
in
awesome.
battle? I guess so. All right.
Yeah, I am.
Wizard battle.
I'm just going to check the range. Hold on. It's not letting me pull these out for some reason.
Hold on a second here. You're able to see them, though, right?
Yeah, I could see them, and I pulled up their character sheets. I just, for some reason, the mouse isn't letting me drag them.
Hold the mouse over it so that the lettering is blue, and then try. There we go.
There we go. I don't know which one that was, 2 maybe.
That was 1.
Alright, now I'm all confused. I'm going to drop these 2 back on, or if you could delete these 2 and I'll start from the beginning.
There you go. Now, I am going to say you're holding this up as an item interaction, which I am going to allow. However, their movement is going to be just getting out of that hole, is walking forward. They're not going to be able to they're not going to be able to walk all the way over to him.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, they have 20 feet anyway, and I'm further than 20 feet, so they wouldn't be able to get to him. But I will just have them kind of go
I'll
around.
say that they can get 10 feet of movement forward based on where you are. Based on them walking out of the hole and onto the sand, I'll give them 10 feet.
Okay.
These are now the pawns in chess.
By this time, Apollyon's feeling a little bit healed and had a couple drinks at the bar, and he's made his way over to the side of the ring now, and he's just chanting, "Wizard battle! Wizard battle! Wizard battle!"
Oh yeah. Gotta love the wizard battle. Okay.
Make a persuasion check to start a chant.
You know what? I like it. Go for it.
Hell yeah.
The cat's literally out of the bag now.
Oh,
Nobody can be
and the
confused.
moment these zombies step out of this hole, there's a collective gasp. And a few,
Yeah.
you hear a few feminine voices out in the crowd, and at least one or two male voices go, "Ah!"
I was hoping for that.
Oh yeah, it is utter pandemonium. And the Dragonborn is looking to you and to them, and he looks over at the MC and calls out, "Is this even legal?" The MC responds, "Item interactions were allowed for this event. Although this is pushing it just a little."
Do I start a chant?
Let's see. What did you roll? A 14?
14.
Absolutely. You start a chant. What is your chant that you're doing?
Veil, he's our man. Use the dead like no one can.
Yeah.
I like it.
Add this sorry lizard to your friends and family party, Veil.
Okay.
Don't have him
So
chant
it
that.
is his turn. Let's see. What does he want to do? He's going to move back. He's backing away from these zombies now. He does not want anything to do with them. Let's see here. He is going to be... Let's see. Okay. You see him begin to cast a spell one more time, Veil. His hands go out and begin weaving around, and he's muttering to himself, and he's throwing an ice storm your way.
Ice storm or sleet storm?
It is ice storm.
Can you just pull that up? Because I need to read what it. I'm not familiar with it.
Oh, sorry. There you go. So what he's doing, he's throwing a storm is beginning to appear over you guys right now, and in a 20-foot radius, ice begins pounding downward on you. I need you and everyone in that area. I'm going to make the big circle right now, but unless you're planning on doing something, you can say right now.
I'm going
And
to
advantage on dexterity saving throws.
snap my finger and counterspell that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So go ahead and mark your counter spell off. Okay. So that storm, as it's beginning to form, you throw up counterspell and poof it out of existence before the spell finishes forming. And you see the Dragonborn now. He's just enraged. He is very upset. He spits at you, says, "Very well. Take this." And as he is using, whoever's making the weird sound, please stop. Anyway, he is throwing another. He's using another bonus set, he's using his sorcerer's point to do quicken spell. I'll throw that up for you again, just so you can read that. One more sorcery point gone, and as a bonus action, he is casting Chaos Bolt at you again.
It says spend 2 sorcery points to change casting time.
Yeah, 2 sorcery points, sorry. Did I say 1? My bad. Anyway. God, he just can't hit you.
No. sorry.
Okay, that's it for his turn. Go ahead.
Veil looks back, or looks ahead at the zombies in front of him, and silently through his mind, just whispers, "Charge!" And they're going to dash up to him.
Oh yeah, just got enough room. So what is you're able to tell them to charge?
Yeah, I basically telepathically communicate to them and tell them to do something.
Okay. And is that their dash action? Is that what that is?
Yeah, their double movement speed would be 40 feet.
But what I'm asking is it using their action to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's my bonus action.
Yeah, it's your bonus action, but their action. Okay.
Yeah, that last guy, I don't think he can make it up there. I don't remember where he was, but...
Probably not.
I'll just say move there. Alright, and then, with my action, I'm going to cast Stinking Cloud.
Okay, let me pull up a stinking cloud for you. What is that, 20-foot radius?
Yeah, so 40 feet.
So probably right about there.
Looks about right.
Okay, now, are zombies immune to poison? That's the next question.
Yeah, they don't need to breathe.
Very nice. So yeah, with no effort, you cast the spell, and that noxious cloud goes swarming all over the area around the Dragonborn and your zombies. Your zombies have no effect. He gets the dexterity saving throw, 16. Oh, wait a minute, no, that's
No,
not
it's a
save.
it's a con save.
Save. So he does not get advantage on this. And that is a failure. So, then on a failed save, the creature spends its action that turn retching and reeling. That's really about it. That's all I can do. Yeah, that's pretty bad for him.
So, Veil lazily yells out, "This could end now if you yield. What say you?"
Unfortunately, all I can do is retch.
As an action, I mean, you can still talk. It's your call, though.
But bending over, so you call this out to him, and you just see this giant cloud around him, and the Dragonborn just drops to his knees and is vomiting horribly. You see just everything coming out onto the ground, a little bit of blood coming out as well. And with all of these zombies leering down over him, around him, snarling and hissing at him, he just holds his hands up. Surrender! And he drops to the ground.
I drop concentration on Stinking Cloud, and I have my zombies step back 10 feet.
Yeah, there's nothing he could do in that one. Even at half hit points, 6 zombies around him and unable to do anything.
And the crowd goes crazy!
And the cloud goes absolutely insane. And is just cheering and yelling, "Ah! Veil! 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 Veil!"
Veil doesn't care for the attention, but he gives a sideways glance and a nod and a wave.
That's my friend! That's my friend!
But yeah, sure enough, Veil, you are the winner of your magician's duel. The Dragonborn, now free of the cloud, just barely manages to push himself up to his feet. Very wearily, walks between the zombies around to you, and he holds his hand out to you and says, "Very well fought. I was not expecting so many to be fighting today."
Veil just looks at his hand, looks up at him, and just turns and walks away.
Brutal. Fucking brutal.
What were the odds on Veil's battle? What are our winnings like?
I believe it was 4-1.
It was 4-1 for Veils. And let me see here. So I have a sticky note. So, Blood from a Stone, when they meet back up with you, you eventually won 300 gold, betting on Veil. Let's see, Veil, Apollyon bet on Veil, so 1,200 gold for you. And that was really
Nice.
it. Liam, you just bet on Apollyon. You didn't bet on.
No, I bet on Veil also.
Yeah, I think it was 2.
I wrote it in the chat right as we did the thing. I put the next 200 there. That I just didn't feel like calling it out.
Yeah, his 125 and my 75.
Yeah, I see it. It says
I see
200
it there,
gold on Veil.
200
Yep.
gold on Veil. I see it now. Okay. So yeah, you won 800 gold, Liam. And Apollyon got his 1,200. And that's it. So with that, and Veil, you step away out of the battle arena. Crowds are still cheering you. Several, as you go over to the side, come over and clap you on your back. Your zombies, you just kind of leave out there in the sand.
No, I would have him come into the portable hole.
Okay. Okay, so you do call them back. Once you do step out of the ring, a healer comes running over to you and runs over to the Dragonborn as well, and asks if you want healing for your wounds.
I look at him and I just say, "What race is he, by the way?"
He's a Dragonborn.
The healer is a Dragonborn?
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the guy you fought. The healer is a human male, mid-30s ish, dark brown hair.
So, as the human runs up to me and asks if I need healing, as I'm walking, I do not stop my pace, slow my pace. I just keep walking, and I mage hand face palm him as I walk by.
You just push him out of the way.
Yeah.
And you're with your mage hand, you just push this healer back, and this human kind of stumbles back for a bit. Surprised. Well, no need to be rude. And he walks back into the pit to go administer aid to the Dragonborn instead. Because, yeah, he never even got to hit you, did he?
No, he didn't.
He threw some really shit rolls.
Yeah, especially with the +9.
Yeah. Could have gone a lot different. Anyway, that's okay. So with that, the battle is over. You all... yeah.
So, real quick, a little bird flies over to me and says, ask the Dragonborn about his tail.
Just out of nowhere, a bird comes flying up and tells you to ask about his tail. Why not?
So I turn to the human that I just face palmed, and I say, inquire about that Dragonborn's tail and report to the red gentleman at the bar. I keep walking.
And this human just gives you a really, really sour look. Like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, as expected.
And that's all the questioning we do on the tail.
Indeed. But the bar is there. Drinks are poured for you all. The crowd begins to disperse, and you see quite a bit of coin exchanging hands as winners and losers are doled out equally. And as you guys are sitting at the bar drinking, the halfling wanders over to you, the halfling who runs the all of the fights here, and says, anytime you guys are looking for a fight, come see me and I'll arrange it. This has been a very profitable night for the both of us. And he just kind of chuckles. Veil, he walks over to you and hands you a purse that contains 1,500 gold. Here's your winnings for the match there. Good show, kid. I had quite a bit on you myself. The Dragonborn's good, but he's getting on in his time, and it's nice to have somebody fresh winning him.
I give him a nod and order an ale.
And sure enough, the bartender comes and hands you your ale. You all sit there drinking and enjoying each other's company. Some of you winners, some of you losers, but all of your pockets a little bit better off tonight. You're able to do so until eventually someone comes and tells you, hey, you might want to vacate or the mansion here is going to be dissolved.
Yeah, I head out with and kind of suggest to Apollyon and Liam we should probably head out as well. I need some muscle behind me. I am a little drained.
I don't need much more suggestion than that. Their beer's not that good anyway.
Well, and I gotta get some rest.
Yeah, so I guess we walk out.
Yeah.
Kind of blew your load there with your big reveal, though. I don't know if you're going to be able to pull that one off again. Pretty sweet, though.
Thanks for the encouragement.
No, I just say now people are going to look for it, man. But you got to be inventive with it. But drop something else out of there now.
I was just hoping.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Put Apollyon in there because he could survive in that thing for 10 fucking minutes.
Yeah, just don't forget about me.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be bad.
What'd you say, Kyle?
Oh no, I was just talking. I didn't say anything interesting.
Well, eventually you guys do leave the mansion, And with that, you see a tiefling follow behind you, the last out, who snaps a finger. The door closes. Then he wanders away. You all make your way back to the inn.
Let me put my goggles on because it's late at night now. That's about it. I just wanted to wear them.
Fair enough. You slip your goggles on to wear into the night, and all of you head out and make your way back to the inn, where you, I assume, get yourselves a good night's rest. Probably Eloise and Blood have made it back to the inn about that same time. So, unless is there anything else you guys want to do before you settle in for your night's rest?
I'll give Blood his money, explain how the fights went, but other than that, nothing too big to report. By the way, Eloise, there was another dragonborn there with a tail. Can't hear you.
Eloise, are you with us?
I think she's mute. Yep, there.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah, this one was golden scaled, unlike your whiteness.
whiteness?
Is that an
Did anybody talk to
inappropriate
him? What's
description?
his name? Where is he? Has he always had his tail? Where did it come from?
I say, calm down,
his tail
calm down.
sabotage him?
I tried to get information, but they just weren't having it.
Last I saw, he was about to be ripped apart by Veil's friends in the midst of a stinking cloud that I did not wish to enter.
I was merciful.
Did anybody get his name at least? Is he from around here?
He was golden.
I did say his name like 4 times.
Did anybody hear what Matt said? I didn't hear what Matt said.
Yeah,
No,
Casco.
I was talking to the audience.
Okay.
His name was like Casco or something. And he was a golden dragonborn, I believe.
I don't understand. I've seen a couple dragonborn with tails in my time, not as common as the tailless, but is this possibly family to you? I don't understand the intrigue.
Seen another dragonborn with the tail. Did his tail try to sabotage him too?
It was actually very elegant in the way it flipped around.
You
Before
seem to
combat.
have good control.
Bad did that on
Such a
purpose, I
fucking
bet.
I've got to talk to him. He has to teach me.
Out of curiosity, didn't your parents have tails?
No one in my clan did.
Interesting. Well, good night, y'all.
Good night, Chuck.
Good night.
Who's Chuck?
And with that, Liam heads to the top level of the inn, into his own room, and settles in for the night. As Eloise is calling out, "Who's Chuck?"
I'll just lead in quietly. It's what he calls himself when he's in Poland. Just go with it.
Okay, that's confusing. Why? Is he okay?
You might have to ask him about that. He kind of told us this. Well, I know he probably would have told us this about the same time. You should have heard it the first time. He's keeping a low profile.
From what?
What do I keep a low profile from? My past. I'm assuming it's the same with him.
Fair enough.
I don't pry. Maybe I should.
Does anybody want to do anything else before you call in the night?
Yeah, I'm going to, once I'm in my room, I'm going to be casting Shield twice mage armor once, and mirror image once into my ring.
Okay. Good. Go ahead and mark those down on your sheet. That way you can remember which spells you cast. And as you cast these spells, focusing in on the ring, you can see the magic just kind of swirl into the ring on your finger, almost like a little mini whirlpool before it dissolves, and you can feel the power of that spell residing in your ring.
Yep.
Okay. And with that, all of you settle in for a good night's rest. Some of you victorious, others of you a little more humbled. But overall, feeling good about your winnings. The money that jingling in your pocket and the prospect of future earnings. You each wake up the next morning feeling rested and refreshed. You set about preparing your spells. You come down to the inn eventually, where you have a hearty breakfast. And the day is yours. So, Faab Five, what would you like to do today?
Mitchell's.
First 2 hours with gravel.
You want me to
Aren't we
help?
needing to get out of here? To like get the contract and stuff like that?
I'm heading straight to Mitchell's.
If you'd like to help train, I'd happily accept your assistance. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Seems like I need some training too. I'll go with y'all.
Okay, so who's going to Mitchell's?
I'll
and
follow Veil.
Who's
I'll keep him.
Okay, so Blood, you and Vale are going to Mitchell's, while Apollyon, Eloise, and Liam are going to be training with Gravel and the horses. Is that about right?
And as Vale and Blood are leaving, I'm just gonna go up to Blood. Can you pick up my thing too? Thank
We'll
you!
get it for you.
I hope you understand, Apollyon. I'm training my horse. I'm not training at the same time as my horse is training. But you're welcome to lift a horse that's in the stables, I suppose. That'd be a good workout now.
That's right. I'm going to put that horse on my shoulders and do laps around the field.
You ever tried playing tug of war with a horse?
Oh yeah, that's good training too.
Okay. I like it. So, Apollyon, Liam, and Eloise, you all make your way out from the inn into the stable, which is located very conveniently right next to the inn, because that's how I set up the map. Now, when you guys do arrive in there, you do see the 4 horses that you guys own, the 2 horses that had been pulling your wagon, and Liam's horse Gravel, and Blood's horse, who I don't think ever has had a name, or if
I was calling him Shadows.
Shadows. Okay. Just marking that down.
I like how Blood picks all the stereotypical black cat names for his pets.
Mhm.
Fuck you.
Shadows, Midnight.
All right, so Matt, my goal for today, since the past 2 trainings with Gravel have been going pretty decent, I'm going to try to get him to trot on command, like do a little prancing thing without me on his back. I was hoping I get advantage if Eloise is here helping me try and teach him that.
Sure. I don't see why not. You can definitely get advantage with Eloise using her animal communication skills.
I'm gonna ritually cast Speak with Animals so that I can better explain to Gravel what's up and what exactly Liam is trying to get him to do.
Okay. So Liam
The first one's a 23.
So Liam imparts to you, Eloise, how he wants to get the horse to trot. And Eloise, you sit there and you explain to Gravel at length for probably about 20-30 minutes while Blood and Veil are making their way to Mitchell's. And the horse is kind of gives a little bit of a whinny and tosses its head and says, "Well, okay there, Eloise. Whatever you want me to do."
Such a sweetheart. I'm gonna bring you carrots later.
I would appreciate some carrots and some apples.
Ooh, apples are delicious.
And with a 23, you very easily manage to train Gravel to do trots on command.
Gonna try barrel racing next?
After talking to Eloise, I'll just. He did so well. I'll just go get some apples and carrots and bring them back for him. Honestly,
Okay.
did a real good job today.
And you spend a couple hours with him, feeding him carrots and apples, brushing
When
him
you guys
down.
get back, you see Apollyon trying to lift him, trying to bench press this horse.
Go ahead and make a
Not
athletics check.
my horse, somebody else's horse. Lift your horse, damn it!
Do I have a horse?
You have 4 of them. You have 4 horses.
Yeah, 2
4
draft
can you lift?
horses.
I mean, I guess I'll do the other ones, not Gravel.
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics check, Apollyon. You know, you get down underneath that horse, you put its the barrel of its belly on your shoulders, and you strain with all of your might, trying to push upward. I was kind of thinking that you needed to hit like around a 15 or so for this feat. With an 11, you're straining as hard as you can, but your mind just keeps going back to last night, and you're looking up at that Goliath as he swings his axe around his head and then down into you, and your concentration breaks and your muscles just overextend themselves, and you get yourself a Charlie horse in your calves, and you're unable to lift this horse.
Oh no.
Thanks for the compliment, Anna. I'm glad you like my
Apollyon, a life of failure. That's what I'm going to call my memoirs.
That's what you're naming. A life of failure?
I'll toss Apollyon one of my apples.
I did slay that dragon.
This is true. This is true.
After a lot of arrows hit it. What? Who?
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
over the course of the 2 hours that the trio are working with the horses, you and Veil have managed to make your way up to Mitchell's. You find it relatively crowdy today. Quite a few individuals moving about, doing shopping with a couple of the employees there. But after a few moments of sitting there, you do see Mitchell walking in from the back area.
Greetings, Mitchell. How are you?
Yes, I recognize you. Necthros Veil, blood from a stone. Well, how are 2 of my favorite customers today?
Doing well.
Yeah. I'm here to pick up Miss Eloise's commission, if you don't mind.
Yes, indeed. You did ask for a few things, didn't you? Refresh my memory again, what you commissioned?
I have no idea what she commissioned. I forgot.
She commissioned a mantle, a spell, a healing mantle or something like that.
Yeah.
I
amulet?
commissioned a epitaph of healing.
Miss Eloise had a healing device. With epitaph of healing, she called it. She wears around her neck, I believe.
That's right. An epitaph of healing. It is indeed on a necklace that I personally handcrafted to fit my dear Dragonborn employees' fine scales. And what was it again that you got, my good drow friend?
I had the bracers of defense and the goggles of night.
That's right. One moment, please. I will retrieve those for you. And he steps away, walks back towards the back area with a flourish of that bright purple robes that you've always see him wear. And as you kind of watch him walk away, it strikes you for a moment, just beneath those big voluptuous robes, he's just this weaselly, slimy looking dude. I'll remind you that he has a black crown of hair going around the sides of his head with a bit of a comb over, a big old goatee that just kind of circles around, and like you want to like him and you want to hate him at the same time almost.
Hey, you could hate the artist, but you gotta love the art.
Indeed. And you're kind of sitting there for a moment, waiting for Mitchell to arrive. And as you do, you kind of hear a few more, the door jingle behind you as a few more customers kind of walk into Mitchell's as well.
You know what I always say? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Anybody of interest in these customers?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
As I heard the door jingle, I throw a mage
shit.
armor out of my ring.
Hopefully you can do something better.
Yeah, there's just there's a human and a dwarf and a half-orc that just wandered in.
Oh my god!
Oh my, 2 nat ones in a row.
Dude, we just fucking went through this on top of the Conclave building.
Wow.
I'd rather do it here than in the ring.
Y'all can't team up ever again. That doesn't work.
Eventually, Mitchell does walk back in from the back room. He walks up to you all carrying 3 items, the bracers of defense and the goggles of night that, while similar to the ones that you have seen from Eloise and Liam, there are slight differences. You can see that since these are custom pieces, the banding and the coloring of the goggles and the bracers are more in tune with what the colors that you like to wear about your robes. Veil.
Excellent.
The necklace that is provided is a singular gem of both red and yellow swirls mixed around inside the gem, inset into a silver brooch with little spirals and fleur-de-lis crafted around the outside of it on a fine but bulkier than you would have expected chain. He holds this up and says, I think this will do quite nicely for Miss Brightcrystal. This is made specifically to withstand the scales that armor her body. I'm sure she will appreciate it.
I hope she will. Thank you.
Take these in good health, my friends. If you need anything else, please feel free to come back and spend more of your glorious money at Mitchell's Marvelous Mercantile.
Yes, thank you, Mitchell. And I will take my stuff and head out.
Okay. You take the stuff and you turn around, and as you do, the human that had stepped out into the shop steps forward and kind of blocks the two of your path a little bit. This human is brown-haired with a clean-shaven face and bright blue trousers and a vest over a white shirt, and he seems to have a lute hanging from his back. He looks familiar, but with your guys' perception that you rolled last time, you're not quite sure who he is.
I say, step aside, Bard.
I'm afraid I can't do that. I think you and I need to have a little talk.
You could speak to my friend.
And as he says this, you see the half-orc that had been admiring some of the goods step over towards one of the doors, while the dwarf at the far end steps over to the other. Two more of the patrons that are in the store seems to have now focused their attentions entirely on you. And you can see one of them is a human with a very, very pink skin, like almost sunburnt in a way. And the other, what is he? And another half-orc, this one in much more full armor, steps away from the woman he was talking to at the counter, and is kind of turned and looking at you guys directly. The bard kind of smiles once again and says, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting to see you guys here. I mean, who leaves a trail from a mountain to a town? And as he says this, he drops a piece of paper onto the ground that flutters down for a moment before it lands. And as it does land, you see the logo of Mitchell and all of the lettering of one of the flyers that Eloise has been pasting pretty much everywhere you guys went.
I don't remember putting them on the mountain, though.
I look at the flyer and say, I've never seen this before in my life.
You would say that, but, trees, a cart that you left on the side of a river, all over this fucking town.
I get real close to him and I say what you have to say now. I don't want to go do the back and forth. And I glare at him directly in his eyes.
And as you do, you can see everyone around you tense up and begin stepping a little bit forward, but in that moment, you hear from behind you Mitchell's voice. You hear a thump as he slams his hand down on the counter, and his voice calls out, "Now, I don't know what y'all think you're doing here in my shop, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to take this outside. None of you will be finding spells cast here are appreciated, and you will find me a merciless enemy if you ruin my shop." And the bard bows slightly, very, very cockily, I might add, directly ignoring you, Veil, completely, but bows towards Mitchell and says, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to do any violence here, I assure you. I just wanted to talk to these two gentlemen, but I am pleased as punch to take this outside and to do so elsewhere. As I said, gentlemen, I just want to have a conversation with you. I'm guessing you don't recognize me, but I do recognize you.
Oh,
is this the bar from the first inn?
No, this is a man.
This is the one that charmed me back at Grovajar's camp.
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check, both of you, before, just to see.
Oh my god. Son of a bitch!
Yeah, unfortunately, neither. You're looking at him, and he's like, I know who you are. I guess you don't recognize me, and you're just both like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, I don't concern myself with the likes of you.
That's totally fine. I'm sure you don't, and however, you have multiple times concerned yourselves with the likes of me. A mutual friend of ours has asked me to speak with you. I'm sure you may not remember me, but you do remember General Grovagar.
Yeah. What about him?
As I said, come have a conversation. And let us step away from this very, very, he looks back at Mitchell, flamboyant individual. There's a little cafe down the street. Cup of tea, maybe a cake or two. And in the end, we both walk away. And no one has to get hurt. Or if you like, we can step outside and do a lot of collateral damage. Up to you guys.
I look at Blood and I say, do you, what languages do you speak again, Blood?
Elvish Tabaxi. Well, common Elvish Tabaxi. But, you know.
All right. In Elvish, I'll say to him, do you still have that sending stone?
I do.
And I give you a nod as I walk out the door.
And in Elvish, as you guys are walking out the door, you hear the bard say, call your friends if you like.
Even better, I turn to Blood and say, get the gang here.
And I think that's a great
Super
place to
friends
end
assemble.
tonight's episode.
Yeah, that was good. That was real good.
So, thank you everybody for watching this evening. We absolutely appreciate everything you do to support our stream here. My name is Matthew R. Dawson, and for everybody here in the Random Rhapsody crew, I just want to say thank you for watching. Have a good evening, and we'll see you again next Monday. Good night, everybody.